Hello, everyone. My name is David Ward, and I'm here to help walk you through copyright registration. Before we begin, it's important to understand what copyright registration is. Copyright registration does not grant you a copyright in the work. That is actually done the moment the work is created. Instead, copyright registration creates a record of ownership with the Copyright Office. This lets you sue in court for infringement. A registration done prior to or within 5 years of publication creates what's known as a presumption of validity. In other words, courts will assume that the registration is correct and valid unless proven otherwise. Registration with the Copyright Office is the only way to do this. Registration with third-party companies such as the Writers Guild, while it can be important, do not register your work with the Copyright Office. So you're going to want to make sure you register your work directly with the Copyright Office to take advantage of these benefits. So the first thing you're going to want to ask before registration is what category your work is. There are 6 categories, as you can see on the screen. Note that music falls under performing arts and is separate from a sound recording. Those are 2 different copyrights. If you want to register them both at the same time, though, you can register both under a sound recording. Note that sound recordings can be other things such as podcasts or really any other type of recording as well. If you're not sure what category of work you want to register, be sure to check the Copyright Office website. Next up, you'll need to ask whether the work has been published or not. Publication is defined as a distribution of copies or phonorecords of a work to the public by sale or other transfer of ownership or by rental, lease, or lending. The offering to distribute copies or phonorecords to a group of persons for purposes of further distribution, public performance, or public display constitutes publication. Now here, phonorecords generally means something like a CD. And this definition can be a little bit tricky, especially if the work has been posted online. Ultimately, though, it's up to the copyright owner to determine whether or not the work has been published or not. If you need some help determining this, check out the link on the slide. Next, you're going to want to look at the different types of registration applications. First off, there's a standard application, which is one work, published or unpublished. There's also a single work or one work, one author, which is just as it sounds, one work with a single author, not commissioned or work made for hire. And then there are several different types of group registrations. Up to 10 unpublished works can be registered together at once. Up to 750 photographs, published or unpublished, can be registered together at once. And certain other types of published works can be registered in a group as well. If you need more help determining the best application for your works, click on the first link in the slide. Now, all of these applications also have different fee structures, but typically the single work is going to be the cheapest. For more information about that and fee structures in general, check out the second link in the slide. Now, lastly, you'll need to submit a deposit copy to the Copyright Office after your registration is complete. And this varies from registration to registration and work to work. So be sure to visit these 2 links on the slide for more information about what deposit copy you will need. All right, time to jump into actual registration. So first off, you're going to want to go to the Copyright Office website, as you see here, copyright.gov, go to register copyright. You're going to want to log in over here. So you'll need to create an account, but I've already done that. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And then you'll come to this screen. So on the left side are the different application options. So this is your standard application, and these are the different types of group applications or other applications such as the one work, one author. We're just going to go with a standard application. And on the following screens is going to be a lot of text. When you're actually registering, make sure you read all this, but for the sake of brevity, I'm going to skip through it. Start registration. So there are 6 different types of works, as we discussed. We're just going to choose a sound recording. So make sure you read all this and then continue on. First off, you're going to want to put in the title or titles of the works exactly as they appear. Be sure to include any volume number or other identifying information. So next up is publication. We're going to go ahead and just say it was published. And so if it is published, you're going to want to put in all of this information as best as you possibly can. And again, it's up to you to put it in there as the copyright owner as best as you can. Next is going to be the author or authors. So you'll click on new to add one. This will typically be whoever created the work, but there can be exceptions. For instance, being hired to create a work or creating the work under the scope of your employment can mean that it was a work for hire, and the organization or person who hired you would actually be the author in that case. So if you need more information on that, check out the Copyright Office website. Next is claimants. This is usually going to be the author as the original claimant, but if the copyright is being sold or transferred to someone else, you're going to want to make sure to add them as a claimant. Next up is the limitations on claim. This section is really only relevant if part of your work is based on material not original or in the public domain or not owned by you. So for instance, recording a song in the public domain, such as Jingle Bells, you'd want to limit your claim to the recording itself. You can't own the song Jingle Bells just by making a recording of it. But you can own the recording of it, and so you would want to limit the claim to the recording. These last few pages are mostly administrative things with identifying information. Again, make sure you read everything in here and fill these pages out as best you can. So after you get through that, you'll go to review your submission. You'll be able to review everything, make sure it appears as you want, and you'll add it to your cart, and you'll be able to complete your registration. After you do that, you're going to want to make sure you comply with any deposit requirements, and you should have a valid copyright registration. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Thanks so much for watching.